In this video, I'm going over ways to save your home from foreclosure. What's up, my sexy McMuffins? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for joining me. Finally, obtaining a home of your dreams or a home doesn't necessarily mean it's safe from foreclosure. A crisis could come that puts you at risk for foreclosure, especially if your dream house entails a big mortgage payment or some crazy catastrophe occurs. If your home is at risk of foreclosure, the problem should be addressed immediately. One wrong move could simply spell disaster. However, by taking the proper steps, this disaster can sometimes be averted. First off, I gotta tell you that this is not legal advice. In my real estate investment business, we handle all types of scenarios when it comes to foreclosures. From 2016 to 2019, about 72% of our company's acquisitions came from properties either in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure status. Since a large portion of our acquisitions in the real estate investment arm of that particular business came from properties either in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure status, we kind of understand a lot when it comes to the dynamics of going through the foreclosure process. And this video will hopefully help you if you're experiencing this same scenario. If your home is at risk of foreclosure, don't start packing. You gotta take action. The following options for avoiding foreclosure should be easily available to anyone with a government-backed loan provider and a built-in mortgage insurance, such as an FHA loan. First thing you gotta do is you gotta call the bank and request a reinstatement amount or reinstatement figure. This reinstatement amount typically takes anywhere from 7 to 10 business days for your bank to actually email or mail to you. Now, don't be shocked at this amount simply because your property is either in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure status. This amount will be significantly large. It will also include additional fees like attorney's fees, bank fees, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure fees, so on and so forth. Once you do this, now you know exactly what you need to reinstate the loan. Sometimes a short-term financial hitch, such as a medical emergency or a sudden unexpected decrease of income, may not allow you to make mortgage payments on time. If your lender believes that you have a valid reason behind the missed payments, it may agree to help you out by granting you what's known as a forbearance. Depending on your financial circumstance, your lender may consent to a repayment plan that temporarily lowers your payments or even suspends them for a specific time. However, to secure this agreement, you will have to assure to your lender that you would abide by the new repayment plan. Now, here's a very important fact to remember. The CARES Act directs that if residential borrowers are experiencing financial hardship due to C-19, they can be granted a forbearance on a federally backed mortgage loan for up to 180 days, with the option to extend another 180 days, potentially relief for a total of 360 days. At the time of this video, a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures was extended until March 31st, 2021. I don't see foreclosures or evictions actually happening until 2022. These were executive orders signed by President Biden on January 20th, 2021. Just a little FYI here, guys. Also, just to kind of help you guys out, mortgage lending discrimination is illegal. If you think you've been discriminated against based on race, religion, sex, marital status, use of public assistance, national origination, disability, or age, there are steps that you can actually take. One of these steps is to file a report to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I'll conveniently place a link for that in the description below. Or you can file a report with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. I'll place a link for that down below as well. While you can't wait to the last minute for this option, you might be able to delay a foreclosure by applying for a loan modification or another foreclosure avoidance option, because the bank could be restricted from dual tracking. Dual tracking is when the bank proceeds with foreclosure while a loss mitigation application is pending. Ultimately, if a loan modification application is approved, the foreclosure will permanently be stopped so long as you keep up with the modified payment. Now, these next tips should be a last resort. One of these things I'm going to mention has a high interest rate and extremely high fees, and the other options will essentially affect you for a very long time if it considers you to be a high-risk borrower. In some cases, you can contact a private lender to refinance with hard money to stop the foreclosure. These loans generally have astronomically high interest rates and fees, but this could buy you some time, the time that you need to actually avoid the foreclosure. If a foreclosure sale is scheduled to occur in the next day or so, the best way to stop a foreclosure sale immediately on your property is by filing bankruptcy. The automatic stay will stop the foreclosure in its tracks. Once you file bankruptcy, something called an automatic stay will immediately go in effect. The stay functions as an injunction prohibiting the bank from foreclosing on your home or otherwise trying to collect its debt. The bank may file a motion for relief from the stay. The bank will probably attempt to have the stay lifted by filing a motion seeking permission from the court to continue with the foreclosure process. Even if the bank court grants the motion and allow the foreclosure to proceed, the foreclosure will be delayed at least a month or two. This should allow you ample amount of time to explore alternatives to foreclosure with your bank. If you want to keep your home, a Chapter 13 bankruptcy might help you accomplish this goal. But if you're simply trying to buy some time by stalling the foreclosure, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy might be the right one for you. Chapter 13 can help you keep your home by restructuring your debt. You'll be able to repay the debt in parts or in full over a period of 3 to 5 years as part of a repayment plan. You might be able to avoid foreclosure and remain in your home with this type of bankruptcy because you can repay any delinquent mortgage payments through that specific plan. Now, on the other hand, the benefits of Chapter 7 bankruptcy, if you are already in foreclosure, filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy isn't usually a good way to save your home unless you can get a loan modification. But Chapter 7 bankruptcy will delay the foreclosure proceedings and provide you time to live in the home without making any mortgage payments. Ultimately, both of these bankruptcy options are just a band-aid, a temporary option. You need to actually figure out a way to repay the debt that you actually signed for. If you're facing an immediate foreclosure sale and consider any of these options discussed in this video, it's strongly recommended that you consult with a local foreclosure expert or bankruptcy associate immediately. My company does a great job at assisting people through the foreclosure process. If you want more information and you're in the state of Nevada, go ahead and check out the link down below. General questions regarding the foreclosure process, please go ahead and leave that in the comment section below as well. To get information about different loss mitigation options, you should also consider talking to a HUD-approved housing counselor. I'll leave a link for that also down below as well. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button. As always, be kind, rewind. Peace.